Hi there, Bart and Colin and Julia. Okay, a little bit of feedback on your globalisation poster. First of all, I like the fact that you decided to go old school in terms of using pens and paper. It was good to see. However, the execution was not as good as it could have been. It didn't look exceptionally appealing, and I don't think it included and discussed the factors that we looked at in class. However, it did not clearly show how those factors linked together. Okay, it needed your presentation to really bring that out. So you really, on the poster, it just really looked at the individual factors to do with your presentation. But it was good that you chose T. There was some very good research there. For example, a fascinating fact was that Canada provided most of the tea that was sold in the US, okay, which I never knew before. And again, you brought out some really good points about technology. Some of your assumptions based on your research I thought was a little bit simplistic and making assumptions. So particularly on the information about how the price of tea changed between 2009 and 2014, and you just assumed that must just all be about how transport has improved, and I'm not sure whether transport has improved that dramatically in 5 years to mean that the price of tea has reduced that much. So I suspect it probably had to do with other factors such as good crops, changing in fashion and tastes, and so forth. Again, there was lots of information about countries that manufactured tea, that grew tea. There was good connections there. I liked your link to Steelworth, and Colin presented that quite well in terms of how wherever tea is processed or produced, it's served by other companies helping them with the machines to help them do that, such as Steelworth. So I like those links. However, there were certain factors that were not sort of developed very well. So political factors, the fact that maybe free trades is possible, whether they charge taxes, and so on, would have been good to bring out. So, and also at the time of marking this, I think Julia might do some changes to this, but when I obviously looked at your presentation, there was no MLA citation on the actual poster, so a little bit like this in terms of having the image and then having an MLA citation. In Noodle, again, when spoken to Julia about this, she knew that Noodle allowed you to do in-text citation and ask Noodle what that in-text citation would be for the source that you were using. So again, I would have expected there to be better communication there. However, particularly, I was impressed with Bart, with his presentation. You were very confident. You knew the stuff you were talking about. And Colin, again, you certainly knew the things you were talking about, like Steelworth and so forth. And it was quite informative. I enjoyed it. There was a logical sense in the presentation, but you didn't make those linkages between the different factors. So you didn't necessarily say how the technological factors impacted the communication, the transport, which had a knock-on effect to politics, which had a knock-on effect to the social and cultural aspects. So again, social and cultural aspects, I think, was one area you didn't bring out very well. In terms of your performance, Julia, I'll have to take another look at that when you give me a short presentation next week. Okay, and then I'll update your grade appropriately for that communication. You use the visual presentation to support the oral presentation quite well. It was a little bit awkward at times, although, as I said before, it looked like you ordered a different segment and then stuck it all together, which, you know, had a certain amount of elegance about it, but it wasn't very appealing to the eye, and it wasn't very clear to pick out key things. So overall, it wasn't very well presented. So you lose some marks here. So the idea is in the way that it's somehow appropriate to the specified format. Okay, it was somehow appropriate, but you didn't show the linkages, so you're stuck down here at number 4. The one above, the oral presentation was good. You did use the poster in a certain way, but I didn't think it was visually appealing, and it wasn't very organized. You just sort of held it up and pointed to the odd piece of information. So again, it's sort of stuck on 4 here. Moving up here, the MLA citation. Again, there wasn't any MLA citation on your actual poster, and you did supply me with some citation for your sources, and then you did use some good sources, but again, because you didn't do the correct in-text citation, it stumbled there. So again, pretty similar to many other people in the class. However, moving on here, you did discuss key concepts, issues, you linked it together, you had a lot of good ideas. So when it came to your oral presentation, linking those things together, that was much better. Okay, so you're in this level up here. You again used lots of good case studies, you found lots of information to prove your ideas and demonstrate that they had validity, which was a good again. So you're up here again. However, it could have been even better and above a 5 and pushing towards a 7 if you had shown clearer linkages between the factors of globalization. So explain why an improvement in technology had an impact on transport, why an impact on transport had a impact on the economy, why the economy had an impact on the political state, why the political state had an impact on the economy, and so on. That linkage wasn't very clear. Okay, so overall, for your critical thinking, again, impressed with some parts of that, especially the case study and the information you had. So you've got a 5 overall for that. And here, again, there was the visual impact of the poster and the lack of MLA citations has really cost you here, giving you a 4. Okay, any questions, please let me know. Cheerio for now. Bye bye.